guys, Mike with Radical Reptile Fun here, and everybody's favorite lizard, George. He's here, he's doing just fine. We're going to show you guys a little bit of his mobility here, just a quick first.
Sorry, we're trying to connect. I need to move closer.
Oh, we're trying to connect. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Alright, iPhones, right? Just kidding. Alright, so everybody, this here is George. So George is our Argus monitor. He's our biggest monitor that we own. He's easily a little over 5 feet, fully stretched out. So yeah, everybody give some hearts to George here.
Now, do you want to tell them what happened to George?
Yeah, so give you some background on George. So George used to actually go to all of our birthdays, schools, libraries. He went all over the place. And when he went to these places, you know, he was quite the traveler. We took him a lot. George actually didn't mind educational shows. He didn't mind his back being pet. He can give him a nice little pet on his back there really quick. There you go. So he didn't mind it. Kids could come up and pet him and everything. And he was just such a great show-stopping animal. Well, unfortunately, we were on our way to a birthday party, and my car got rear-ended. And George was with me. Now, all the animals in the car were okay, except for George. After the car accident, we noticed that George was kind of pushed up against the side of the box. When we brought him home, George was acting a little abnormal. He was not really moving. He was kind of keeping his head down. He would stay in one spot. He wasn't really doing a whole lot. And that got us concerned. I was able to feed George just fine. George was eating okay, and he was defecating, but he wasn't moving. And that wasn't like George. So we went ahead and we took George to the vet. And sure enough, insurance covered George's vet visit, thank goodness. But we took George to the vet. They did a full scan of George, and they saw that he actually, right up between here, Tegan, if you can point with your finger where it was at, right here, he actually had a fracture in his spine. Now the problem with that is right where that's to where all the nerves are to the self down was because there was so much pain that was happening there. So, but George was given medication. The medication we actually had to insert into chicken so that way you would eat it. And we had to keep George in a really confined enclosure. He was literally in a box for 6 weeks. And he had to stay inside that box for the full 6 weeks because if he moved too much, he could refracture his spine. So best thing to do was keep him nice and comfortable in this little box. He still was able to stretch out, but the biggest thing that we wanted to do was make sure that he was comfortable. So we were cleaning him out, and boy, did he take some nasty poops. He would take some gross stuff.
Where were you during all of this, Michael?
Oh, yeah. So I was only around for like the first couple weeks. After that,
like 3 days.
Oh, 3 days. Well, all right. So after that, I went to the Philippines. So when I went to the Philippines, Tegan was doing everything.
And Kathy and Josh were helping too.
Yeah, Kathy and Josh were helping as well. And they were feeding George, cleaning everything out. And yeah, so now as time was going on, we were noticing that the medication was actually working for George. The medication was like muscle relaxers, things like that.
Pain medicine.
What was that?
Pain medicine too.
Yeah, pain medicine. And we started seeing a lot more mobility in George. And when we started seeing that mobility in George, we were really astonished. The vet that helped us out was Avian and Exotic Animal Hospital. They're located on Lindsay, really close to Baseline, between Baseline and the 60 on Lindsay. And they did an amazing job. Dr. McLaughlin was the main care provider, and then our vet tech with it was Sam DeMarco. And they just did an amazing job with George. They kept with him. They kept sending him updates with him. And then again, when we were at home, we were sending them updates. And George got full mobility back into his front legs, his back legs, and he kept his attitude the entire time. So he's a really good eater. He's a really good mover. Well, this is what leads to this video today. So George used to be in a really big enclosure, and you're going to see the enclosure here in just a minute. Tegan is about to pan over, but not yet. And in this enclosure, he had full climbing. He had like this huge jungle gym. It was literally George's jungle gym. Well, the problem is George can't use that jungle gym because if he uses it incorrectly, he could refracture his spine again. So George had to go back into his old enclosure, which really doesn't give him a whole lot of room to climb, dig, or anything like that. So Tegan and I were discussing, it's so sad that this cage is going to not go to use. And Tegan came up with the idea to do a double-decker enclosure. So the top side of George's jungle gym will be Floyd's cage, and the bottom side will be George's cage. And we modified George's side so that way he doesn't have to climb a whole lot. And if he does climb and he falls, it won't hurt him. And you're going to see that cage in a little bit. But the biggest thing I want to show you right now, while we still have daylight out, is I want to show you George's mobility. So I'm going to set George on the ground. He's got quite a grip on me right now. Just look at those claws.
You want to do it in the garage, just in case?
No, we can sit him right here. I'll hold on to his tail so that way he doesn't
Don't want him running down the street again.
All right. He's a little nervous. Sorry. You can let go of your back legs there.
Okay, he's probably going to dart out, and then we're going to have to live video chase him down the street.
That might be fun, though.
All right. Good boy, Georgita.
See? Look at that movement, though. He turned very quickly.
It's okay, Georgie.
It's okay.
We should have got some chicken for him.
I know. I should have defrosted some chicken. Whoop. There he goes. He's very fast. But look at that movement in that front there. He's got a lot of movement going. So you can see he's back to his old self again.
Someone said built-in leash for his tail. Yeah.
Basically. And I don't want to tug on his tail too hard. If you tug on their tails too hard, you can hurt their tails. So I've got a really loose grip, just enough to kind of pull him back, but I'm trying to use his back legs more than anything.
It's okay, Georgie.
He's a little nervous. He doesn't like me as much. He likes Tegan a lot more. Although me and George became really good buddies, especially after Oscarita. Oscarita was an Argus monitor that I had for she was 15 years old. I had her for about 10 years of her life. And Oscarita was an Argus monitor as well. And me and Oscarita were just huge buddies. Tegan and I started actually dating after I've already had Oscarita, and Tegan didn't really like Oscarita that much. But when we got George, Tegan really wanted to work with George, and so when we first got George, Tegan worked with George more. So George likes Tegan a little bit better than me, but over time, after Oscarita passed away, I started working with George a lot. George has trusted me a lot at shows. For those of you that have been to our shows, you probably have seen George, and you probably know like how well behaved he was. He does give little hissy fits once in a while, but right now it's because he's out and about and he thinks he gets to run around everywhere.
So if anyone's ever wondered the tattoo on Michael's arm,
yes.
That's Oscarita. It's okay, George.
Yeah.
There she is.
That's Oscarita. She was the Argus monitor that I had originally.
So we did get a question. Someone asked, do they shed?
They do. If you can see, George is shedding off some skin right now. So George is actually, he's getting really fat with his diet. And so lizards actually shed. They just don't shed like how a snake does. So when a snake sheds the skin, it's like one giant thing. We can show you Hope will shed here in a little bit. I got one right there. But when lizards shed their skin, they shed their skin in patches. So right now he's shedding his back. He's actually getting ready to shed his tail too.
So you can see how bright he is in some spots and dull in others.
This is new skin. This is new skin. This is all old skin. All the nails though, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Good boy, George.
Good, George. Good job, Georgie. Give him some lickses. Everybody, give him some hearts so he gives you kisses.
He's not enjoying you right now. Not Georgita.
Let's go back to his new house. So that leads it up to. Let's go ahead. Let's introduce.
But first,
who
do we need to thank for his beautiful cage?
Absolutely. That's most important. So to make this cage come together, we're right now in really tough times with COVID-19 and everything.
Stop. It's trying to connect. All right, now go.
Sorry. So a lot of our shows have canceled. I mean, we have got cancellations going all the way to May now.
Which is understandable.
It's totally understandable. Nobody is at fault for canceling. We're very fine with it. The animals are not going anywhere. They've got plenty of food. We've got plenty of support in the community. Nobody's going to let Radical Reptile Fun die down. But thanks to you guys' donations on our first video, that's what put this cage together. Many of you actually donated, and for privacy, I won't say everybody's donations, but everybody that donated, you know who you are. You actually helped build this cage. So with all the donations, we took all the donations, we put it right back to the animals, which is what we always do, and we built the rest of this cage.
So let's get a ton of hearts for everyone that donated.
Tons of hearts for all the donations, everybody. Lots of hearts for everybody that donated. And if you donated and you want to comment yourself, feel free to comment yourself that you donated, because you were the ones that made this possible. So just know that this enclosure that you're about to see is it's up to it. Take screenshots of it. This is what helped build. So yeah. So let's
move on over.
Let's move on over and let's show you the enclosure first while I hold George here.
So this is his old enclosure. Michael, would you like to walk in?
Yes. Right.
So it's an 8 foot tall by 8 feet wide, or 6 foot wide.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So it's about 6 feet long. Width wise is probably only about 5 feet wide. Stop it, Floyd. There's Floyd.
Oh yeah.
All right, we'll talk about Floyd in a second. And George is like, there's this scrappy little thing in there.
Why don't we put George in and then you?
Yeah. Let's put George in. So George has not been introduced to this cage yet. This is his first time, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But we're gonna put George in, and I'm gonna put him where his dirt is, so that way he can kind of see where all the dirt is there. Come on, George. There you go. There you go. Oh, look at all that dirt.
Do you wanna? I guess I can. So this is George's, I guess, new cage. So he has an area to dig. He does have a couple logs here. He doesn't generally climb them. He's got a nice basking spot. We cut this low so he can't climb to get out.
We also have the bricks there for some support too.
Yeah, so he can walk up. And then we've got his big old water bowl. We did used to have a platform here, but we fenced it off so he can't try to climb out that. So basically no areas to where he can take any big tumbles. We're probably going to end up putting a hide in here of some sort. We just haven't built that yet. And then these are just really thick pads on the floor.
And they're really easy. So a lot of people were like, well, Mike, the pads, don't they get moldy? Don't they get gross? They're actually super easy to clean and scrub. We actually, when George had his injury, it was getting close to winter, and we actually brought our quails in. And when we brought the quails in, the quails, literally, if you guys were to look at this mat, it was covered in quail poop. It was gross. I was in here on my hands and knees with a hose, lots of steel wool, and I was scrubbing all this stuff off. But you can see it's all gone. There's very little, but what you're seeing is mainly dust and dirt, kind of from George and Floyd a little bit, but
yeah, so that's the new cage.
Yes. And if you come here too, so that way we can check on George. We actually have a glass piece here, so you can actually see George here. And George, it's kind of scuffy looking, and that's because George used to claw in it when George was originally in here. So, but if you come right here really quick, so right here, I'm gonna open this door.
Floyd might eat him, so we might get a bite this time.
Get ready. So this actually didn't used to be here. This platform actually didn't used to be here. This is what was made. So this actually used to be open. There was a platform in the back, and then that platform would lead up to the secondary platform, which is over here, and we'll come back to this here in a second. So I wanted to install a platform here so we could divide the cage up. Now, normally these doors would open up together, but I unhinged the doors. They're on these little bracket systems here. I unhinged the doors to actually open separately. So both of these doors actually open separately like this. That way I can keep them separate from each other, and they lock really well. So we made this spot for Floyd, and that's what's dividing it. Now, we also needed to make sure there weren't any gaps, because if Floyd and George get together, it may not be a good scenario. So on the side here, I put some chicken wire, and that wire, it's held on. Floyd's not getting through it. But let's go to Floyd's side. So this is Floyd. Floyd's an Argus monitor as well. Now, Floyd is about what Oscarita's size used to be. We got Floyd from A&E Exotics. A&E is a pet shop that we're hoping to go to this week, so keep an eye out for that live video later. Bryant gave me an amazing deal on Floyd because Oscarita had just passed away, and Bryant was such a nice guy. He's a great pet shop owner, and he helped us get Floyd. So we were super excited when we first got Floyd. Floyd was a teeny little shit. Sorry, my bad. My bad. Teeny little guy. Sorry, it's my passion for these guys, so sorry it gets around there. But he was a teeny little guy, and now you can see how big he is. So Floyd used to be in a smaller enclosure, kind of like what George was in originally. And but Floyd could easily squeeze through these bars when he was originally his normal size, so that's why we never did this earlier. But now Floyd's bigger. But the biggest thing that we wanted to test out was, could Floyd get out of this enclosure? So this entire week, Floyd's already been in this enclosure because I'm testing Floyd. I know that George can't. George is a nice, thick boy. He's not going to do anything. He's loving his dirt, checking everything out right now. But Floyd, I wasn't sure on how he was going to take the enclosure. So now, what I did is there was already this platform here originally, but Floyd needs a spot to dig too. Now, it was going to get a little troublesome to have the digging spot on this side because this side was already built strong for digging. So I built these. I built this little barrier right here going around so Floyd can dig in this barrier. Now, what's also cool is there's actually a side portal. I'm not going to open it up because Floyd will think he gets food. But there's actually a side portal right... Stop it, Floyd. Even though I'm right behind bars and he can't affect me, it's still a little nerve-wracking. Stop.
Okay, well, we don't want Floyd to...
We don't want him to hurt himself. But there's a little platform there, and we just got to get the bowls next. And those bowls, we can feed Floyd in and out of those bowls.
Someone asked, will Floyd and George fight?
Yeah, so we're not sure if Floyd's a male or female. Tegan's pretty sure that Floyd's a female.
But either way, that's why they're separated.
Yeah.
We don't want to ever house animals together.
Correct.
So they can have their own room, their own space.
Yeah. So you guys all saw the live video with the monkey tail
George.
skinks. Now, monkey tail skinks, they're more of a social animal, so they can be housed together. But monitors, no. Even when you're breeding monitors, you get them close together for a little bit of time. They breed, and then you separate them again.
Yeah, Floyd likes to fight. Sam's here. She's on the live.
Hi, Sam!
Sam, when she was taking care of our animals while we were in the Philippines, actually got a lovely little nip from Floyd.
It was a beautiful kiss.
So she definitely knows how that is. Floyd's a lot feistier.
Yeah.
Floyd does not go to birthday parties.
No.
We're still working with him, her, Floyd, Florentine, whatever we want to call it. Hopefully one day it'll calm down a little bit. But right now, still a little feisty.
Yeah. We'll probably introduce him to more... I've taken him to some larger events just for people to look at. And he's actually done okay at those large events. He hisses a lot, but he doesn't, fight like how he is. What?
Someone said my marriage was like a monitor relationship. Honestly.
Yes, sir.
Understandable.
Yes. It's 6 o'clock on a Sunday, everybody. We're just all going. Now...
You guys can see how much bigger George is compared to Floyd.
Yeah, he's so much bigger.
He takes up quite a bit more room than that.
Yeah, so we made a nice dirt box. Now the dirt blend that I've got in here, it's peat moss mixed with sand mixed with cypress. So it's a nice even blend. It actually holds humidity extremely well. I used a hose and just kind of mist their enclosures, and I misted it right before George went in.
We have the big humidifier too that we have turned on when the doors close.
Yeah, we usually have we'll have the humidifier when it's closed, but we also keep the humidifier on during the summer because it gets really dry in here. So the humidifier.
Oh, look, you guys can see George is trying to get his shed off by scraping himself against the side. Oh, watch, now he's stopped and I'm watching him.
He's getting himself right. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
Nice, good
that log.
itch.
Get it.
Good boy, Georgie.
Let's give lots of hearts to George for that. That was kind of cute.
He's a cute guy. What can I say?
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's getting his... There we go. Lots of hearts.
Now, when we come out, Floyd's not on it right now. He was out on it before we started doing the live video, but there's a platform up there for Floyd to kind of hang out on too. Floyd's done a good job on hanging on the platform. I haven't really seen Floyd climb the bars yet.
Oh,
George was really...
George used to love doing that.
Yeah, George would climb up the bars and worry me and Tegan a lot. Because he would climb up on the full sides of the bars. He'd
saw him on
top.
The ceiling once.
Yeah, we saw him climbing across the ceiling. He was a crazy lizard. But this should suffice for him. He's got a nice digging spot. Again, we're going to try to get a hide going for him. Another thing I need to get is a fluorescent light so we can light up on this side, get a little bit UVB. Now, the heat lamps here, this is a heat lamp on top. George actually has a UVB, UVA light on the bottom, just because Floyd, if he wants some UVB, we open up the garage and Floyd will actually hang out on this side and he's getting natural sunlight. But because the turtle tank, and we'll show you turtle too while we're in here, the turtle tank kind of blocks George, so he won't get a whole lot of UVB. Monitors, they do need some sort of UVB with them. However, they don't need it as much, mainly because they are carnivores where they can eat whole prey. And that whole prey has calcium coming from the bone, so you don't always have to have UVB, but it is still best to have it. If you don't have the right diet for them and you're not keeping them on UVB lighting, they'll develop metabolic bone disease, and you'll start to see it in their tails first. Usually you'll see their tails start to go a little bit rigid. But Floyd and George don't show any sign of metabolic bone disease. George does have scoliosis, but he's had scoliosis before we even got him. He was kept in a tank about this big.
So at he was about the same size.
Yeah, he was the same size, and he was kept in a tank this big. George stretches that length. So because of that, he was already developing scoliosis. But and the vet saw that on the thing. It's not huge, but I mean, George is living a full, great life. I mean, we're estimating George is upwards of, what did they say, like 13 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an older dude.
Yeah.
He's earned his retirement.
Yeah, he's earned his retirement. So yeah, this is George and Floyd's cage. It's our double-decker. Again, this was all possible due to your guys' donations. And again, if you want to donate, all your donations go back to the animals. They don't go into me and Tegan's pockets. They go to these animals.
You're going to get your fingers bitten off here in a second.
Oh, you shouldn't have told me. It would have made great videos. Just kidding. So if you guys want to donate, you can donate on PayPal. It's radicalreptilefun@gmail.com. We'll put it in the link description as well, but it's radicalreptilefun@gmail.com. So our business name @gmail.com. That's who you can PayPal. Any amounts work, and again, it all goes back toward the animals. And that's why we wanted to show you this video, is because everything that you guys already donated, this went back to making this enclosure possible for these guys. And these guys are super happy. Normally our birthdays, schools, library events, all of our shows that we do, all that money goes back toward these animals.
He's tripoding.
There's a lot of electricity running in here right now. There's lots of food that these animals eat, water bills, everything. All that goes back to these animals. So we give a lot of our money back to our animals. And it also helps us get more animals in the future. This last week, we ended up getting 4 rescued reptiles. Now, cool thing is 2 of those reptiles actually got to new homes, which is beyond amazing.
Lindsay's watching, so.
Lindsay's watching. Yeah. Lindsay will know. Lindsay is actually our neighbor. They live right next door, and she actually took in one of the rescued bearded dragons. And let me just say that rescue is having a great home with her kids. They're absolutely loving.
But what's the funniest part about that rescue story?
So the rescue was supposed to be, the dragon was a little bit of a mean dragon. And when I got a hold of it, it was kind of nippy, but I think it was just scared. And so I warned Lindsay about it. I said, this might be a little bit aggressive. Just keep working with the dragon, and over time it'll work. The next day I get pictures of the dragon sleeping with the kids, having a good time with the kids, and it was hilarious.
Not aggressive at all.
No. And that's what happens. That's how a lot of rescues happen. Sometimes, they show off a little sign of aggression, or one person gets bit, and that's the end of it. They get scared. I've even seen it on some of the reptile forums where somebody will say, I got bit by a snake. I don't know if this is ever going to happen again. I'm too afraid to hold my snake now. It's an accident. I've gotten bit way too many times to count at this point, and it doesn't deter me. If anything, it makes me learn from my mistake to figure out, okay, well, what did I do wrong this time, and how can I avoid it in the future? But there's lots of different equipment that you can buy. You can buy snake hooks to get George out today, because George is really food aggressive, which is good. I like him food aggressive. But you can buy things like this. So these are snake tongs. So you can actually feed reptiles using these tongs. You can also help pick them up. These are commonly used when you're used for rattlesnakes, to pick up a rattlesnake. Tegan can tell you all about that, because Tegan's actually a certified rattlesnake wrangler. Isn't that right, Tegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam has a good point. She said if it has a mouth, it can bite. Just part of the hobby.
Yep, absolutely. So it's all part of the hobby.
Just like dogs and cats, anything.
Yep, anything. So don't be afraid of your reptiles. Now this year, I mean, I don't know how long this COVID-19 is going to go for, but if Halloween doesn't get canceled this year, I hope it doesn't. We do open up our garage with all the big animals in it. We have lots of different units and everything like that. We have lots of big units and everything like that for all the animals. And you guys can come out and actually see them. You can see all of our reptiles. So you guys can all come out and see them. And you'll
Of
be able
course,
to
you
see
can
this.
always give me a call if you get a rattler.
And you guys can all come out and see them. You'll be able to actually see this enclosure live and in person. We will have a barrier system, so you'll be able to see the animals, but you're not going to be able to put your fingers on the cage. So we'll have like a small barrier system and everything. But this area is entirely decorated. You can also come out and see Turtle. So let me see if we can see Turtle coming out here. He's kind of being shy right now.
Oh,
no,
he'll
he's over
come
here.
over.
He's excited. He's ready
Here,
to
Turtle.
see. So you might have seen him on Instagram before. If you haven't, you're going to see him now. So everybody, this here is Quasi. Give him some pellets there.
He goes right there. Hey, Quasimodo.
So Quasi is a snake neck turtle. These guys are from anywhere between New Guinea and Australia. They actually have a very long neck, so their heads don't actually go inside of their shell. They have a very long neck and helps them catch food and everything. So this is Quasi. Snake neck turtles. This one also came from Alien Exotics.
Do you want to tell them the story about what happened?
No. So when Brian advertised that he has a snake neck turtle, and I've been wanting a snake neck turtle for years. I've been wanting a snake neck turtle for years, and Brian posted that he had one, so I wanted to go check it out. And first of all, Brian had an amazing price on that snake neck turtle. But when I was holding the snake neck turtle, he's kind of slippery, and he like lunged forward and literally jumped out of my hands. And so Tegan and everyone were like, "You dropped the turtle," and everything like that. It was kind of like, well, now I guess
drop it, you buy it.
Yeah, you drop it, you buy it. So
He was okay. It wasn't a very big fall.
Yeah. Also, it didn't hurt him at all or anything like that. So
But how big was he when we first got him?
he was only like this big. When we first, it's not including the neck. The neck was still long, but he was only this big, and he's a lot
maybe
bigger
like
now.
that size of a lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy. And this is, how
see
big
my
is this?
hand.
150, 200
I
gallons?
think this is 100 gallons. So it's a 100-gallon Rubbermaid enclosure. Now that's 100 gallons filled up to the top. This right now we're only pumping about, I'd say, 60 something gallons. There's about 40 gallons that we can go. So he's got about 60 gallons. When we originally had it, he had like a huge platform here, but he outgrew it, and we wanted to give him some more room. And if you guys,
he'll have a nice pond.
yeah, if you guys want to donate, again, at Radical Reptile Fund, if you want to donate, look at Floyd really quick. So if you want to donate to us, you can donate to Turtle's new pond. We're hoping to get a nice 300-gallon pond for him. And everything. Also, this filter was actually donated to us as well. So there was originally just a small pond filter in here, and this filter was donated to us. And man, it has kept this water crystal clear. This water was not as clear as I wanted it to be when we first got Turtle. And it's an amazing canister filter. It's a Marine Land, I believe. And it has kept this water beautiful. So very happy with it. So money doesn't have to be a donation. If you guys have leftover supplies or anything like that, feel free to donate it to us. We take in
The Freedom Breeders.
Yeah, our Freedom Breeders. That's what has all the big snakes and stuff in it. Our Freedom Breeders were donated to us from James Badman, who you guys saw the live video with all the mammals and everything. He donated those to us. A lot of the tanks that you guys see here, if our enclosures and stuff like that, those were donated to us as well. Or given really good deals to us. So again, feel free to donate whatever you want to. Again, all of your donations go back to animals. We are not a non-profit, though, just so everybody's aware. We're not a non-profit, so you can't write it off. I'm sorry. We're not a non-profit, but again, it's for these animals. We take in so many rescues. 60% of the animals that we own are actually rescued reptiles. George was a rescued reptile. Floyd was not. Floyd was because I really wanted another Argus after Oscar.
Hopeful and Raisin are.
What was that?
Hopeful and Raisin.
Yeah, Hopeful and Raisin are. So Hopeful and Raisin are back there. Hopeful's enclosure is a little dirty, so we'll do a different video with Hopeful later so you guys can get Hopeful's update. But she's still here. She's that big yellow blob over there. Raisin's right above her. I also had to insulate Hopeful's enclosure because Raisin's above her, so I wanted to make sure that no Nido gets over to Raisin, so they're separated out and there's no way to transfer it. Also, we have very delicate procedures when we're cleaning animals out, so but yeah, Eugene over there was a rescue. Rapunzel was not a rescue. Rapunzel was bought for Eugene, and that was more out as well as I wanted to. So yeah, a lot of our animals are actually rescued reptiles. James, our green anaconda, is in here. I just cleaned out his water bowl, so he's hopefully he'll go over to his water bowl. He's under his hide right now. But yeah. Well, that's so we'll just let Tegan kind of pan again. If you guys want to donate,
Floyd, you're looking beautiful now.
And it's Radical Reptile Fund. You can send any payments you want to there if you want to donate. Again, you do not have to. If you have any reptile supplies or you want to donate reptile supplies, feel free to donate. Again, it all goes back to these guys.
What is George doing? Hey, Georgita. Georgina.
But the biggest thing that I can say is keep following our YouTube channel and keep following our Facebook videos and to follow us on Instagram, because if you're not following us, you're not getting these cool updates with all these animals.
Leanne wants to know when our next live will be.
Our next live. So I'm still working on that. I don't know if we're gonna have a live video next.
It'll be Friday or Saturday.
Hopefully Friday. Still waiting on Annie's response, but once we get them, it should hopefully be Friday or Saturday. As for videos, though, we're not done with videos. The next video that's going to be posted is our frog video. So you get to see our frogs. That
will be on YouTube.
Yeah, that will be on YouTube. So you're going to have to go to YouTube. It will not be a live video. But even if you've missed any of the live videos, we have posted all of our live videos to YouTube and Facebook. The only one that we haven't posted yet to YouTube is the one at Red Mountain Conservation Center. But we're working on that. That should be...
Had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties with that one. But don't worry, we'll get that one posted. We have it saved, so we should get it posted soon. But you can see all the live videos. You can check everything out. So
tell them what our most recent one of the most recent YouTube videos.
Yes. So one of the most recent YouTube videos that we posted was our Komodo trip. So we actually took a lot of videos that we did not post on Instagram or Facebook of the Komodo Islands. One of those videos being a manta ray video where we were actually swimming with manta rays. And some of our snorkeling, and then of course the Komodo dragons as well. So that video is on YouTube. So go and check us out on YouTube.
If you like big lizards.
Yep, if you like big lizards like George and Floyd. Yeah, if you think George is big, that's nothing. George is nothing compared to a Komodo. We saw a juvenile Komodo that was the size of George, and even that one was giant. And so go check it out on YouTube. But yeah, keep following us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and then everybody still keeps staying safe. Again, even though we don't have shows, this is where we're bringing our shows. We're bringing the shows to you via video. We're not charging anything for it. We're just accepting donations if you want to. So feel free to keep following us. If you have children at home that are looking for something to do, or you're homeschooling them or anything like that, show them these videos. It's a good way to kill anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. And you're learning some amazing facts about these animals. So, you know, share it with your kids. Tonight's got a little crazy though. Whoops.
What's the most interesting fact you know about an Argus monitor?
So the most interesting fact about an Argus monitor is their tripod. All right, so Argus monitors are known for tripoding. They're not the only monitor that can do it. Other monitors have been known to tripod, but Arguses are the most famous for tripoding. What that
Do you
means,
want to show them an example of tripoding?
Is Sam the one asking these questions?
No, it's me.
oh, it's you. Okay. So a tripod, what they'll do is they'll actually use their tail as balance.
So act like a lizard.
So lizard. What's coming out here?
Michael is reenacting a tripod.
So this is like a lizard, and what they'll do is they'll stand up on their hind legs and go like, go like this.
Great reenactment.
Yeah, and they'll look around everywhere. So they'll stand up on their hind legs. I actually took a picture, or no, I tried to take a picture today of Floyd doing a tripod, and then he attacked me.
Sam gave you some shady emojis since you assumed it was her.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Sam. You were the one dying for me to eat the cookie and Blackboard, so that's all I have to say. Yeah, watch the pet shop video. At the very end of that pet shop video, I eat a dog cookie. Spoiler alert. It was not very good. It's going to be great for your dogs. Sam got one for Bailey, whose birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, Bailey. But yeah, so everybody, that's basically what I want to show you. I wanted to show you Floyd and George's cage again. Thank you all again for your donations. Without your donations, this
thank you guys. These guys really enjoy it.
Yes.
Good job, Floyd.
Good job, Floyd.
Basking the queen. And then Georgie one last time. What you doing, dude? He's enjoying his dirt.
He is. He likes to dig.
Oh, your mom says she has a good photo of Oscarita tripoding, so we should share that.
Yes.
After.
So we can share that after, absolutely. I've got a bunch of videos of Oscarita's tripoding.
Yeah, at the show she used to.
Yeah, Oscarita was really good. She would do it on cue. So I would lift Oscarita out of the box and she'd be tripoding on my hand, on my arm. I even got her to tripod on my shoulder once. So she, oh man, I miss her so much. Rest in peace, Oscarita. But yeah, so again, everybody, thank you so much for checking us out. Follow again at Radical Reptile Fun on Instagram. You can also check out us on Facebook, which you're already on.
YouTube, Twitter.
Yes, please go to YouTube. We are on Twitter. We don't use Twitter as much. Maybe recently, I don't know. But check us out on YouTube for sure. Check out that Komodo video. You'll love it. There's some great footage there. Your kids will love that video. It's an amazing video. And keep posting to us. Tell us a little bit about yourself. When you guys see us post, tell us how you're doing. We're also wanting to know how our customers doing through all of this as well. So, you guys tuning into these live videos, it tells us what you guys are up to as well. So, I hope everybody's staying safe. I hope everybody's social distancing. And we hope that everybody is doing fine during all of this. And don't worry, Radical Reptile Fun is not going away. I've had that question asked numerous times. We are not going away. These animals are going nowhere. The moment that this is all over, we'll pick up right again. We'll do birthdays, we'll do schools, we'll do libraries, we'll do everything again. We always bring hand sanitizer to our shows, or we encourage kids to wash their hands. We also encourage everybody not to touch their faces during the shows anyway. So we're already keeping to the regular standards of everything. We can start making tape lines for kids to stay far apart. But again, we're not going anywhere. The animals will always be here. This is our passion. So, all right, guys.
Thank you, everyone. We hope you guys have a good night.
Yep. Have a good night. Lots of hearts. Get those hearts going. Get them going.
One more time. All the hearts. One more time. For George, one more time. And lastly, for Quasimodo the turtle. Where did he go? He's eating over there. Can't really see him. There we go. All the hearts. All the hearts. All right. Good night,
guys.
everyone.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.